in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, maybe I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. This is now the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. What's up, Rico?
Hello.
Welcome.
How are you?
I'm good.
You've been talking for 3 hours.
We're good. We're chilling. We're fine.
Did you run out of stuff to talk about?
No.
Are we good? We still got stuff?
No, we got plenty of stuff. Don't worry. Don't worry, Rico. And you never know what's going to actually happen on here, right?
No, we have no idea.
Exactly. It's like
The people are wild. We love the people.
It's like drunk happy hour.
It's like drunk.
It's like drunk. Happy Hour is sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly. They bring your best ideas to life. From concept to completion, your project is their priority. Get a quote today by visiting empire-fence.com or call 402-682-7658. All right, once again, 402-464-5685. Honda Lincoln Hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you guys still. You get another hour of me talking, but this time Rico's here with me.
Hi.
So Rico, a lot to talk about. We'll be joined by Nate Rohr, voice of Husker softball, at 2:30 today. They have a series coming up at home at Bowlin Stadium against Minnesota this weekend, who is just a couple games over 500. Nebraska, however, 30-9 overall, 10-0 in the conference, and on a 15-game winning streak. So they are not just around 500.
I would say they're also a couple games over 500.
Yeah, there are a few. So we'll talk to Nate here at 2:30, and then in the final segment we'll touch on little Husker baseball as they start their series against BYU tonight. 1 game tonight, 2 on Friday, 1 game Saturday. That is how it is playing out for Husker baseball.
I want to ask Nate. I just want to say, Maya Felder? ?
You could say,
and see where he goes with that.
You could say Maya Felder. You could say Billy Andrews. You could say Cam Ibarra.
Home run record ?
Caitlin Neal.
At least Nebraska record.
Yeah. So she has Billy Andrews, has 18 home runs this year.
Does she? I gotta check if I don't think she leads anymore.
She is not. She is second in the country, tied with a player from Wichita State. The Aho girl from Oklahoma leads the country, I believe, with 21.
Is she the one that has like the all-time?
Jocelyn Aho, yeah. Yep. She leads the all-time home run record, or she has the all-time home run record, I should say. So, all right, once again, happy hour this time, 2 o'clock. It's just a couple minutes past 2 p.m. here. 402-464-5685. Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. I need to pull up my text line here. All right, so we were talking about ESPN FPI. Okay, so Jory says this on the text line. Got to give you credit, Nick. Suzuki is an exciting player for sure. Sorry, Rico, for Cubs/baseball.
Did he hit another home run?
No, they don't. They play.
Oh, you're
tonight,
just saying he's.
But here's the deal. He's exciting.
But he is not.
Give me Seiya Suzuki.
But he is not Shohei 2.0. Don't hurt yourself like that, Nick. I want you to be happy.
He is Shohei. Just not pitching. He is just fielder
Nick,
only Shohei.
Nick, I want you to be happy. I want you to enjoy this moment. Don't ruin it for yourself. Don't do this to yourself, Nick.
Dude, he has the most RBIs in his first 5 games as any Cub.
Don't.
I mean, what are you going to do? That's the next Shohei Ohtani, if I've ever seen one. It is, Rico.
Remember when Chris Bryant was supposed to be your savior?
Chris Bryant can kick rocks. I had to think a second.
Took you a little bit.
I had to think a second. Make sure it was appropriate for radio.
Remember when Anthony Rizzo was supposed to be your savior?
Yeah, well, that was our fault. That's my fault. Sorry, that's my fault. Sorry, Rizzo. We traded you. I apologize.
Just
no,
cut yourself some
but
slack.
You know what? We're gonna strike out Chris Bryant twice tonight when the Cubs play the Rockies at Coors Field.
Pecan pie. Fun fact.
Is it really?
The girl from Wichita State that is tied for second. Actually, she is second. Billy only has 17. She's tied for
18.
third.
She had her 18th this weekend.
Did she?
Yes,
it hasn't updated then.
Well,
Okay, well then she is tied for second. The girl from Wichita State is from Beatrice.
this is PKFI exactly read my mind. We got to recruit the state of Nebraska better.
Keep them in state.
How did they get out of state? Well,
Disgusting.
unfortunately, she's at Wichita State. But Nebraska
Look,
softball's doing just fine.
Okay. Can I say something that I don't know if this might be controversial.
Is this what we were talking about earlier?
No,
Okay,
this might be controversial.
Good. I did not want to start that topic.
Softball and volleyball. The issue with both of them and keeping players in state is that mostly more with volleyball than it is with softball is they're so good is they get the best players in state and then they get the best players from out of state. So you have really good players in state, but the positions are filled.
Yeah.
And you can't just bring them in. Like, well, you can't just bring them in like that. Just
look at what I mean. Then you can
what are
translate
you
to
gonna
what the
do?
football program's doing. Hey, we'll let you walk on.
see, but then they just
And it's
sit
like,
there
come on,
and they're
nah.
supremely talented. And I feel as if John Cook like knows this and he's like, look, we would love to have you in our program,
Yeah.
but we're full.
Well,
Go be successful somewhere else,
and
please.
also part of that, like with the club programs, they get so much exposure nowadays. Same as in high school baseball and summer baseball, not Legion baseball, summer like showcase baseball.
Yeah.
If you find a strong league, then you're able to get a lot of exposure from depending on the tournaments you play in. Like, for example, if you are in high school baseball, they're called perfect game tournaments in Arizona, in Florida, in Oklahoma. There's Under Armour sponsored ones in certain places as well that you have to be invited to as a club, as a program.
Mhm.
And that's where all the top Division I schools go and recruit.
Mhm.
Because if you're on one of those teams, then you're fine.
You're good.
There's one team in Nebraska currently that gets invited there.
Yeah.
But here's the deal is what I've learned, because there's stuff in the works. What I've learned is that if you don't have a good enough record or if you lose games in those tournaments by too wide of margins, you don't get asked back. You do not get asked back.
And that's how you keep your club exclusive.
That's why there's so much like competition at those things and that's why like you see really who's the best of the best, because you're going up against other guys that win. But like if you lose a game, 11-3, and then you lose your second game of that tournament by a similar margin, you're not being asked back because Under Armour does not want you there because you're not good enough. Like it is extremely fascinating how it kind of all works.
And that makes sense. But and then with Pecan Pie, see,
Yeah.
that was my thing. Volleyball with that is they get all these great players and they can't keep all of the girls in state because they have their roster filled up. With softball, on the other hand, they get a lot of in-state players, but they miss out on some of the top ones because softball up until this season has been solid, but they haven't been, Women's College World Series champion, the best team in the nation good. So when you have girls in this state who are playing at that type of level, a la Jordan Ball out of Papillion La Vista, she's down at Oklahoma right now, putting in work.
Yeah, Jordy Ball is playing well.
Yeah, she is fantastic. It's hard for Nebraska to get them, but again, the talent for softball and volleyball in this state is so vast that you'll miss out on. For softball, you'll miss out on some of the best players, but there's still really solid players in softball here in the state. And for volleyball, John Cook's built himself a dynasty, a powerhouse where he can get, whichever top level girl here in the state of Nebraska to come to his program. And after they fill up their roster, unfortunately, there's still going to be some really talented girls left in the state who have to go somewhere else.
Okay, so listen to this. I looked up Jordy Ball's stats here. So this was her high school stats at Papillion, or she's from Papillion. So Rico, get this. These numbers are mind-boggling. So Papillion La Vista Monarch led them to 3 straight Class A titles, collected all state honors all 4 years. 27-0 with 0.10 ERA.
I think
surrendering just 27 hits and 15 walks in 137 innings pitched while striking out 316 batters in 2021 alone. She batted .510 with 20 home runs and 55 RBIs as a senior.
Yeah.
Collected 27 wins in the circle as a junior to go with an exceptional 0.15 ERA and 316 strikeouts. So she struck out 316 players as a junior and a senior. So
I'm pretty sure that her senior class only lost like 4 games their entire time at Papillion La Vista.
So what's interesting, so we talk about like we'll get to her Oklahoma stats here in a second because those are
crazy.
She
beat UCLA.
Yeah, so we'll get to those in a second, but she played travel ball for Nebraska Gold, which is one of the top. It's Nebraska Gold. Iowa Premier is also one. We've heard Abby Squire talk when she was on this show, and then she was also on Riffin with Raff and AD. And we've heard Abby Squire talk about just the club and the exposure that they get, and that those are all D1 players, and they stay friends, so then they get to see each other when they play. It's super, super cool. Mm-hmm. All right, so pitching stats for Jordy Ball real quickly on this one. It is unreal. So pitching statistics. She has pitched in 86 and a third innings. She's allowed 37 hits, 9 runs. She has struck out 138 batters and walked 18.
The command.
100. She has struck out 138 batters. Listen to that ratio. 138 to 18 walks.
As a true freshman.
She has an ERA of 0.73.
True freshman.
15-0 record.
And they're not playing cupcakes. They're playing hard teams. Like I said, I think she started against UCLA and they got the win.
So against UCLA, she threw 7 innings, allowed 4 hits, 14 strikeouts, and they won 4-1.
Look, man, it's disgusting what she is doing. Like, it's crazy.
That is insane. She beat Iowa, Indiana, Houston, Minnesota. Against Minnesota, Minnesota kind of hit her around a little bit. 3 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, allowed 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts.
Can't be perfect all the time.
Yeah, okay. So Minnesota lost to Oklahoma 9-1, but still beat Texas Tech, beat Wichita State. So that's actually pretty exceptional from Jordy Ball, the freshman from Papillion La Vista. Good stuff there. 402. I cannot get out of the 316 strikeouts in both her junior and senior year for Papillion La Vista.
That whole senior class went D1, I believe. Man. Like, she went to Oklahoma. There were a couple that went to South Dakota or South Dakota State. One of them went to Wichita State. I think one didn't go D1, but she went to like a really, really, really good D2 or like D1. Whatever below that. I don't know exactly if there even is one, but she went to they all went to really good schools for softball.
It's unbelievable. All right, 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln Hotline, Sutter Heyman text line. All right, so we saw this before we got on the air. Texas, according to the FPI, 6th in the country. What?
Pretty sure they went like 5-7 last year or something like that.
And lost to Kansas at home.
At home, in Austin.
And they lost their starting quarterback.
That they did.
But yet here we are. And they are 6th in the country, which is unreal.
They are projected to get 9.4 wins and only lose 3.2 games.
I need to find the
they're above teams like here's the top 10. If you haven't seen, ESPN FPI came out today. Football Power Index. The top 10, according to ESPN this year for college football: Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, the defending national champions, Clemson, Notre Dame, Texas, Michigan, Oklahoma, Pitt, Auburn.
Gee.
That's your top 10.
Pitt?
Oh, Pitt, yeah. Oh, and number 11, LSU. Remember that LSU team that was bad? Yeah, 11th.
Well, they got Brian Kelly now. They got the dancing machine, Brian Kelly.
Yeah, whatever. Well, Notre Dame lost Brian Kelly. Guess what? They're 5th.
They got Marcus Freeman.
I like Marcus.
I am all in on Marcus.
Freeman. Like Marcus Freeman. Notre Dame is projected to get 9.1 wins. The top 4 are all projected to get 11, damn near 12 wins.
So Dusty says this. That sounds right if someone picked Nebraska to win the West also.
Well, Dusty, I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, they did.
Oh, no, I know. But okay. I'm saying, Dusty, I'm glad you brought that up because Nebraska is projected to win the West. However, they are down at 35th with 7.7 wins projected, while Wisconsin is up at 21 with 8.2.
But Nebraska's
projected to win the West.
How does that happen?
What is happening?
Dude,
what is going on?
I want to know.
But Nebraska's above USC.
I want to know. Oh, wow.
Yeah, USC is all the way down at 37, projected 7.9 wins.
No way.
Yep. They're projected 8. We'll just go 8. They're projected 8 wins. They're down at 37th.
There is no way USC is going to finish
This FPI is broken.
37th.
Broken.
Oh my!
None of this makes sense.
Unreal. Who is Texas quarterback? Is it Ewers?
I think he's going to be.
It has to be.
You know who the last team is?
Who?
Not UConn.
Oh,
UConn is second to last. New Mexico State.
Oh no!
131st, 3.2 projected wins. However, UConn is only projected 2.5 wins. So I don't know how this works. I don't know how any of this football power index works.
Somebody says, why do you even think USC will be good? Caleb Williams, they are basically Oklahoma 2.0, and it's Lincoln Riley, and it's in the Pac-12.
Yeah, they
That's
have a solid squad and they have a solid coach. I don't really know what else you need.
And you're at USC.
Yeah.
They
got Alex Grinch. Their defense is going to be good.
Well, it's the Pac-12 also. And by good, I mean, I bet they finish in the top 25. I'm not saying they're going to win the playoff, but
somebody told me to check K-State. K-State is its 39th, couple spots below Nebraska.
That's close.
6.4 projected wins.
All right, bowl game. So with that, Vershawn's hope that Nebraska and Kansas State play each other. It could happen. What's K-State's schedule look like today?
Let's find out. Here, let me see. Let's go. Come on, Come on, 4-letter network.
I'm coming. All right, here we go.
I got it.
Okay.
They start the season with South Dakota.
That's a tough one.
Then they play Missouri and Tulane. All three of those games are at home. Travel to Oklahoma, face Texas Tech. Travel to Iowa State, at TCU, home against Oklahoma State, home against Texas, at Baylor, at West Virginia, and end the season with Kansas.
Okay, good. So that one against Texas,
the 5th of November.
They have a top 10 game at home.
Yep.
Okay. Because Texas is 6th.
So they have a top 10 game on the road against Oklahoma, and then a whole bunch of garbage teams apparently.
Let's find out. So we need to remember when Nebraska's buys are. Football.
Here, you look that up. I'll say in K-State's schedule.
Because
I know exactly what you're going to do.
We need to figure out when the migration of Nebraska fans will head down to Manhattan.
When Manhattan will be invaded by red.
Yeah. So unfortunately, they have a game on November 5th, so they're not going to get Nebraska's support on that day against Texas. It looks like, okay, so it would be October 22nd.
October 22nd at TCU.
Okay, so we'd have to make a trek.
Who wants to go to Fort Worth with me?
What about, it would be September 24th.
At Oklahoma.
Oh, I do like
Who
Norman.
Wants to head down to Norman with me?
So here's the deal. Here's the deal, folks. Nebraska hosts Oklahoma September 17th. Kansas State travels to Oklahoma September 24th.
Who wants to watch Oklahoma 2 weeks in a row?
2 weeks in a row.
Ladies and gentlemen,
don't you love Dylan Gabriel?
Let's get it going.
All right. Keep it going. Let's get
Nebraska to Norman.
Warm up the buses. Nebraska to Norman. Nebraska doesn't play Oklahoma down there.
We got to support our former Huskers. Oh, I can't say that with a straight face. Yeah. Who is it? Adrian Martinez, Cade Warner, and Will Honus.
That's right. Will Honus is down there.
Will Honus walked on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will Honus was the number one linebacker when number one JUCO linebacker when Nebraska brought him in. And he walked on to Kansas State. Granted, he's coming off an injury.
Yeah,
but
coming
still.
off some spine injury or something. That could be interesting. Gus says a lot of empty seats are going to be on that bus.
Gus, you're
That's
driving.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know why you're talking stuff.
Hey, Gus, guess who's next to you also? Lat Man. He wants to come. He's making the trip.
Lat's coming with us.
Lat's the honorary captain.
He's going to be your seat buddy.
Lat's doing the coin toss.
Take that, Gus. You jerk.
Yeah. Have fun, Gus. Which, speaking of, are we surprised we haven't heard about Lat's decision?
Kinda.
Like, he's just out there in thin air right now.
He's just chilling. I feel like he knows and the coaches know. They just haven't made it official yet.
Absolutely.
I don't know what it is.
Same with Trey. Like, even if Trey's decision is going to test out the NBA combine and then fail to hire an agent or decide not to hire an agent. Yeah, fail. Decide not to hire an agent. Like, I'm surprised we haven't heard.
Yeah.
But okay, Bipolar says this. seriously, nothing against Adrian, but bleep K-State. I don't know how you can call yourself Husker fans and rightfully cheer for Kansas State.
Why? I have
time out.
nothing. I have nothing against Kansas State. Do
Well,
Husker fans hate Kansas State?
I think so.
Is there some reason to hate Kansas State? They've never been good. There's no reason to hate them.
They were when Colin Klein was the quarterback. They were number one in the country for a while.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with Nebraska. Like, they have never threatened Nebraska in a serious way
until the bowl game.
Like, Kansas State has. Nebraska fans should have nothing against Kansas State. Should you be cheering for them?
No.
Should you hate them? Also, no.
Okay, so Big 10 versus Big 12 bowl games. We need to figure out once.
Cool hand Luke. Shout out to the Gus Bus. I actually watched
Benchwarmers.
Remember the there's a recruit. Is Gus something. He's like 6'9". He's a power forward. He's very talented. He's a little bit on the thicker side. He goes by the Gus Bus. I actually watched his highlight tape the other day.
So
still good. Still want him here.
Okay, so Gus says that he is not driving the bus and he's flying to Siberia to watch lap play. That's so bad.
Hey, what was that country that Frost said that they would fly to play a game?
Uzbekistan.
Did you know that Team USA played Uzbekistan?
No way.
They won 9-1. I think it was the women's team. They won 9-1.
That's right.
I was going to screenshot it and be like, Scott Frost, where are you at? But I didn't.
I will say this. Oh, I missed opportunities. So Scott Frost accidentally tweeted something out a long time ago that just literally his tweet just said missed. I think you remember that. So I screenshotted it quick enough before they deleted it.
Yeah.
And so every time, here's going to be my bit during the season. Every time that they miss a field goal or a point after touchdown,
you're just going to tweet that picture
I'm going to just tweet the picture out.
People will know.
Scott Frost saying missed.
Everyone will know.
And I'm hoping to get some licks.
Did K-State destroy
Crouch's
in the
neck.
late Well, I knew that.
I forgot about that one.
I remember that, but in the late 90s and mid 2000s, I don't recall the mid 2000s K-State destroying
I would
Nebraska.
just also like to say this. Like, that was 1990, 30 years ago, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's so long.
Bill Snyder's not the coach there.
Is his son there still?
Oh, no, Sean is at USC. Well, was at USC.
He wanted his son to take over for him. They said no, and that's why he went back.
So Sean Snyder was in talks about with Nebraska to become their special teams analyst last year.
Mm-hmm.
Decided to go to USC. And then
should have came to Nebraska, Sean.
Yeah, he would have still been there. I wonder if he still is at USC. I wonder if Lincoln Riley.
We will look that up in the break.
Yeah, we need to get to break. I do like Chris Kleiman though. Like, is it wrong to hate like the coach?
No. Former North Dakota State.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Kleiman's a dude, gets you 6, 7, 8 wins every year. Nebraska, I think, would take that right now.
Solid guy.
Let's go ahead and get to break. We get to Nate Rohr of Husker Softball next.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Southeast Community College is training tomorrow's workforce today with our nearly 60 career and technical programs. We are doing our part to help employers fill vacancies during this current labor shortage, graduating students with skill sets employers are seeking. We're also helping to upskill the workforce by adding short-term credentials like certificates in many programs so that employees can get retraining quickly. Learn more about upskilling with SCC at southeast.edu/academics. SCC, your path to possible.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is the equal opportunity employer.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A wind advisory will be in effect as northwest winds could gust near 50 miles per hour again today. We'll top out, though, near 57 with mostly sunny skies. A few passing clouds tonight, a low down to around 30. Calmer tomorrow, finally. A little bit cooler, though, with a high of around 54. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey dude, can I have the aux cord?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, do you want to play some games?
What? No, stop. I'm trying to drive.
Dude, Aaron wants to know what you're doing on Friday.
Okay, I'll talk to him later. I'm driving right now.
Did you see this thing on Facebook?
Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I gotta put you on Do Not Disturb.
Wait.
It's hard to drive with a bad passenger, so don't let your phone be one. Visit drivesmartany.org for more information. Brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Adversity introduces a man or a woman to themselves. It's easy to say, oh, have a great day when things are good. But when life happens, as we all know, adversity hits, that's when we find out who we are. It's okay to be not okay. And sometimes we can't see the help that's there because of whatever issue. There's athletes that are talking about mental health and just well-being and burnout right now, because in the past 2 years, if COVID has showed us anything, it showed us the importance for connection.
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You're listening to The Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, presented by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick and Rico back with you, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. The Happy Hour is sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly. They bring your best ideas to life from concept to completion. Your project is their priority. Get a quote today by visiting empirefence.com or call 402-682-7658. All right, so good stuff in that first segment. We found out the folks really hate Kansas State.
Apparently.
And that the FPI is a complete
broken.
joke.
It's broken.
Complete joke. We go ahead and transition to Husker softball here with the voice of Husker softball, Nate Rohr. Nate, good afternoon. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing well, gentlemen. How we doing?
Good. All right. So
Fantastic.
before we start talking about Husker softball, how great was it to be back in Memorial Stadium on Saturday behind the PA mic?
Oh, it was wonderful. You know, anytime we can get 50,000 or so in that building, it's a fun time, and it was wonderful to be back. You know, the second half was a little more exciting than the first, and I know the coaches were trying to keep some things under wraps, but just to get everybody in that building, it was a lot of fun.
I know you've probably been asked a million times, but how'd you come up with your third down call?
You know, honest to God, I think just watching NFL games like everybody else, you hear people sell third down pretty hard. And in fact, a couple of people in the prospects kind of challenged me ahead of that Michigan game to push third downs a little harder. And so I was kind of searching for something, and I'd heard it done a couple of times, and one good thief beats 10 good scholars. So I stole it, and it seems to work, kind of.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I love everything about it. Continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. All right, so Husker softball, 30-9 overall, 10-0 in the conference, and on a 15-game winning streak. Their last loss, I believe, was March 15th against San Diego, and that was on a big road, like a game or a big stretch of road games as well. So you take it with a grain of salt. But that was at a time where we weren't entirely sure what this roster and team was going to look like. Just general question: how crazy fun has this season been to cover this Husker softball team?
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. I had heard from folks around the program coming into the year, hey, it's different. They've got a good energy about them. And you take that in, and you certainly trust the people you trust in the organization, but you also take it with a grain of salt. They haven't lost anybody. Nobody's beaten them. They haven't been out on the road, whatever. So they start the season, and honestly, I was maybe a touch disappointed. I mean, you go 2-3 at the Unidome tournament, and then the last loss, as you mentioned, to San Diego, and that was a really disappointing doubleheader. But it seems from that point forward that doubleheader sweep refocused this team. They've got a good competitive spirit about them, and when you look at just how our season is set up with long weekends, a lot of travel, having to play 5 games in 3 days, especially early. You see it goes beyond talent. It goes beyond what you have in terms of just raw ability. It goes into focus and how badly you want to be good. And I think this team pretty badly wanted to be good, and they've talked about getting this program back to postseason, and that's really driven them to this point and really driven them to some high heights.
We talk about how talented this team is, and it's coming from every single position and throughout the entire lineup. What has helped them get to this part or this area where they are 30-9? Because like they're getting contribution from everybody, and they're not necessarily like senior led either. It's been freshmen, sophomore, even underclassmen playing some big roles.
Yeah, and I think the most talented kids on the roster are the underclassmen. I think, Billy Andrews is a national level player. Sydney Gray is somebody who I expect to be an All-American by the time she's done. Same with Andrews. And so you've got a couple of younger players who are pretty elite, but you also have some seniors in Farrell and in Courtney Wallace who are good players, but who have the right attitude. They've worked really hard. They've been driven. They're very competitive. And I think their example has set the tone for the rest of this roster. And then with these guys being hungry and not having been to postseason, it's just pushed them forward. So I think there's good leadership at the top. I know this team worked very hard on sort of that aspect, the intra-program leadership, which has helped push this team forward and help build the competitive mindset that they've shown. So good leadership, and then, some talented kids who are very competitive for their own right.
We're speaking of the voice of Husker softball, Nate Rohr. Speaking of some extreme talent, Maya Felder, the Oregon transfer. I mean, speak to what kind of impact she's made over there at first base and in that lineup for Rhonda Ravel's squad.
Oh, she's been very important. I know my big question coming into the year is, how is this program going to replace Tristan Edwards? And I think it's safe to say that Maya Felder has plugged right in and done the replacing from the standpoint of how she's hit. It took her a little while to get settled in offensively. I think just transferring again, she's been out on the West Coast, or at least in the western part of the country, most of her, basically all of her life, until she came out here. But she's settled into her role. she had shown that she was a pretty good hitter at Oregon. And she was an all-region player for them last year. I've been most impressed, though, with what she's able to do defensively. Man, at first base, she's just a wizard as far as picking the ball, as far as getting to the ball. And, so often at first base, that's a position where you usually give a little defensively. You usually stick somebody who might not be the best fielder, but they can hit, and you need somewhere to hide them. And so first base is often where they are. But with how this team is set up, it's not a big strikeout team. You need somebody at first base that can first field her position, but also handle low throws. And Maya's done a great job in both those respects, really throughout the year. And the bat has really come on after the first couple of weeks of the year.
You talk about Maya Felder. I'm going to switch this over to Billie Andrews. She is currently tied for third in Nebraska all-time home runs for a single season. You see her getting to first is 22 from Allie Viola in 1998. You see her getting up there?
I think she can. I don't know if it's a slam dunk, just from the standpoint that we've really seen teams pitch around her. I mean, Rutgers hardly threw her a strike, only pitched to her once in a 3-game series. And you think back on Barry Bonds, for instance, he would get maybe 2 or 3 pitches to hit in a week and would have to do something with it. And hitters can put a lot of pressure on themselves when they have very limited opportunities to come up in big situations. And we saw it against Iowa on Tuesday. The Huskers had runners on. The wind was howling out to left field. And at least early in her at bat, it felt like Billie was trying to hit a home run. And Rhonda Revelle called her over, called time during the at bat, called over Billie. And though I've not been able to confirm this, I'm going to guess that Coach Revelle encouraged her to just kind of stay within herself and not look for the home run. And she hits a 2-run single up the middle. So I think Billie can get there. I think she can break the school record for home runs, but even if she doesn't, what a phenomenal year out of her.
We're speaking to the voice of Husker softball, Nate Rohr. This weekend, Nebraska hosts Minnesota in a series. They play on Easter, don't they?
Yes, that's right.
So they play on Easter, but they a 3-game set against the Golden Gophers here, who are a couple of games over 500. I mean, can you give us anything so far on Minnesota? What should Husker fans expect? And then why should Nebraska fans head out to Bowlin Stadium this weekend?
Well, it's a good matchup against a program in Minnesota that has established itself as one of the best in the Big Ten Conference. They've had, unfortunately, quite a bit of coaching turnover. Jessica Allister really established the Minnesota program in the last decade since Nebraska's joined the conference. And then she left for Stanford, and Jamie Traxel took Minnesota to a Women's College World Series a couple years ago. She left for Ole Miss, and so Piper Ritter is their coach now. Minnesota is a great offensive team, so it could be a bit of a shootout this weekend. They're up over 200 runs for the season. Their lineup is very good. Natalie Den Hartog has 15 home runs. So I think offensively it could be a bit of a shootout. But at the same time, Nebraska's been able to handle good offenses fairly well. Olivia Farrell has pitched pretty well to this point for the Huskers. Courtney Wallace had a gutty doubleheader against Iowa on Tuesday. She was a little nicked up, still found a way to win both those games. So should be 3 great battles. It's a program that has given Nebraska trouble recently because they've been good, but it feels like the pendulum is swinging the other way to where the Huskers could do some damage this weekend.
So with that, we always talk on the baseball side of things about how the Big Ten Conference just isn't really that respectable in terms of, when you compare them to other conferences. For the folks that might not know, how does this Big Ten Conference in softball measure up against, some of the other power conferences in the country?
Well, they're kind of fighting for their spot on the stage. I don't think it's as extreme a case as baseball, because, softball, we've had more consistent top-level Big Ten teams going to the Women's College Series, hosting regionals, winning regionals. Michigan is usually in that category. Minnesota has had recent success. Of course, Nebraska went to the Women's Series in 13 and won a regional in 14. Northwestern is having a great year this year. So especially at the top level, I think the Big Ten gets its proper respect, where I think the conference kind of has to fight is in that middle tier on the NCAA bubble. Last year, the NCAA only took 3 Big Ten teams. And as you look at the RPI this year, there is a whole cluster of Big Ten teams in the 30s in RPI. Nebraska's 30th, Wisconsin's 33rd, and Illinois is 34th, Minnesota's 36th. And, above them, you've got Michigan, Ohio State, and Northwestern. I don't think this conference gets 7 teams in, even though the RPI would suggest that maybe they should. So I think the Big Ten in softball is fighting for its place, fighting for respect for that next tier of teams, even though I think this year, for example, Northwestern is going to be a top 8 national seed.
Nate, last one before we let you go. I'm curious, do we feel pretty confident that Nebraska, though, has wedged themselves into a scenario where they're feeling pretty good about their chances to get to a regional?
I think so. If you're in the 30s, your odds are very good. And Nebraska is sitting 30th right now. So that would suggest that it's pretty solid. And what's more, Nebraska doesn't need to run the table down the stretch. They need to keep winning their fair share. And they have a tough part of their schedule coming up. I mean, you've got Minnesota, Ohio State, and Wisconsin these next 3 weekends and the next 2 on the road. And those are 3 of the top teams in the conference. So if Nebraska is competitive over those 3 series, I think they'll be fine for regionals. You just don't want to have a big slide at the end of the year. That would give the committee some fodder to maybe keep you out.
Awesome. All right, Nate, appreciate the time as always. We'll definitely talk to you down the road. Enjoy the weekend series against Minnesota, and we appreciate the time.
Hey, thanks for having me.
That is the voice of Husker softball, Nate Rohr. Appreciate him as always. Really good stuff there. Nebraska softball, once again, 30-9 overall, undefeated, 10-0 in the conference, and are winners of 15 straight. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll preview Nebraska baseball versus BYU. Their series starting tonight, coming up next on the Happy Hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I don't know about you guys, but I have been getting back out and hitting different restaurants, hitting different places, and I could not be more excited to get back to Bearshin in Benson, one of the best beer gardens around. The weather's starting to get good, and coinciding with that, they are going back to their full food menu. We're talking the burgers, the Johnny Hammer Pants sandwich, the pretzels, the fries, the salads, if you're one of those people. They got all of it, and they are now open Tuesday through Sunday. That allows you to get over to Bearshin, check out the food, the beer, hang out in the beer garden. You can get that $7 Big Cheese Double Wagyu burger special on Tuesdays. Also, happy hour, 3 to 6, Tuesday through Friday. Don't miss it. Plus, if you're a soccer fan, it's the place to be in Benson.
Hello, I'm Charlie Stone, back with the latest news from Honda of Lincoln. Joining me now is the general manager, Andy Goodyear. Hey, Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Charlie.
Hey, Andy, with spring right around the corner, how is your supply of new Hondas and pre-owned vehicles?
Really good, Charlie. As I've said before, when you drive by our lot, you don't see what you're looking for, just remember we have hundreds of new Hondas arriving soon, with Honda continuing to offer 0.9% APR financing to qualified buyers. Plus, we have over 125 pre-owned vehicles in stock and ready for immediate delivery.
That's great, Andy. Any more great news?
There is, Charlie. Honda just announced financing from 0.99% APR on certified pre-owned Hondas for qualified buyers.
So come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Call Nebraska Auto Detail today at 402-601-5086.
Today on Hey Culligan, why does your team stink? Here's Coach Waters.
Hey, Culligan. Yeah, my team stinks.
Ooh, harsh.
No. I mean, they stink. They won't hit the showers because it makes their skin all dry and itchy.
Coach, it sounds like your guys have been hit hard by hard water.
You kidding me? Hard water?
Yep, so let's call an audible in the form of one Culligan Smart High Efficiency Water Softener to get the smooth back in their skin and the stink out of your team.
Okay, Culligan, I'm putting you in.
Coach, we're already on the way.
Go to CulliganLincoln.com and schedule your free water test today.
It's only a room with shelves and books, but it's far more magical than it looks. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Instill a love of books and learning by reading to your children and grandchildren. Create a lifelong habit that leads to a successful future. I think that I shall never see a place that's more useful to me. Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, so my computer just died. I
ripped to Nick's computer. He's in the process of currently trying to plug it in. Welcome back to the Happy Hour, final segment, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Thank you, Rico. We're back. The computer has booted up. Man, it feels like I am lost without my laptop. That just showed me right there that I am.
Wow. My man's
lost.
Gonzo.
I could do without my phone. I could do without my Apple Watch, like all that.
I use my phone as my laptop.
Yeah, you do. I have to have my laptop. It's bad. And I never used to be like that. It never used to be laptop. It used to be
dependent.
Yeah, I am.
It's okay.
All right, 402-464-5685. Final segment here, not too long until you guys don't have to hear my voice anymore for the day. Neither do you don't have to hear Rico's.
It's been me and you for quite some time.
It has.
Mostly you.
It's over.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We're done. We're dead.
That's it. Sorry, everybody. Sorry we had to tell you this.
Let's just have dead air for the next 6 minutes. All right. Okay, so first. I did. Nebraska plays BYU. They host BYU tonight. Huskers, it's a little bit of interesting thing. So the Creighton game on Tuesday night obviously got canceled. They were only through 3 innings. Nebraska was up, I believe, 1-0 at the time that it got banged out. So unfortunately, Nebraska does not get that win on Tuesday. But I will say Mason Ornelas kind of looked sharp through 3 innings.
That's painful. That's painful if you finally have somebody looking good.
Exactly.
And
you had to cancel it. Yeah.
That's what it is. The baseball gods were like,
no,
can't have this.
Nothing nice in Nebraska.
Can't have
please.
this. What are you doing?
So Nebraska plays BYU. I can kind of give you guys the lowdown here.
BYU lost their head coach,
their
manager.
BYU's head coach is done.
Step down.
They are 17-12 overall. They beat Ohio State early on. Hey, so did Nebraska. They swept Arizona State.
Whoa.
4-2, 6-5, 19-3.
Whoa. Who did they lose to? Just ignore it.
They lost to Oklahoma State. They lost 2-3 to number 6 Oklahoma State.
Respectable.
They beat Utah. They lost 2-3 to Gonzaga. Lost 2-3 to St. Mary's.
Those are all top 25 teams that they're losing to.
Swept Santa Clara.
Shout out Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
I don't know why you said it like that. It's fine.
I never know if it's Clara or Clara.
It's Clara.
So they lost. They swept Santa Clara. 5-1, 10-0, 9-5. They all won. Then they play Nebraska in a 4-game set tonight, tomorrow at 2 p.m. and 5:30, and then Saturday at 11:05 Central Time.
So BYU not terrible.
Yeah, games on
Just
BTN
not
Plus or Big Ten Plus. And you can also find it on the BYU radio network, BYUCougars.com. So
Nebraska will be celebrating Jackie Robinson Day, April 15th,
right,
by having who was it? Throw out the first pitch. Peaches James for the softball team and Sean Buchanan for the baseball team. They're coming back to throw out the first pitches. April 15th, Nebraska celebrating Jackie Robinson.
So
Day.
tomorrow.
Yep.
So taking the mound for BYU, sophomore Jack Sterner, who has a 3-1 record in 8 starts. He leads BYU in ERA at 2.25. He leads them in innings pitched with 44 and strikeouts with 42. In his last outing, he went 5 1/3, surrendered just 1 earned run while striking out 7 batters in their victory over Santa Clara. So look at that. About a minute left here. Seems like BYU somewhat of a pretty decent team.
They are top 60 in RPI.
In RPI, yes. New skipper, like we said, on Monday, BYU baseball head coach Mike Littlewood resigned from his position for personal reasons. Associate coach Trent Pratt has assumed the role of interim head coach of the Cougars for the remainder of the season. Pratt joined the baseball staff as an assistant in 2012 and was promoted to associate head coach in 2017. So there you go. There's the lowdown on BYU. All right. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us all afternoon long. Bach and Nathan are next with the water cooler. And then it's Thursday at 4:30 on the block. All right. We're done for today. Talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.
Adios.